If you have a large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning. They will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war.
There is a distinct playbook that tech billionaires use when they want to play politician without doing any of the actual work. Step 1. Claim you speak for the normal people. Step 2. Use your multi-hundred-billion-dollar megaphone to preach that Western civilization is collapsing due to scary brown immigrants. Step 3. When someone actually checks the real-world facts against your tweets, panic, and bring up your family tree. Elon Musk went on television to declare that a civil war in the United Kingdom is inevitable. But watch what happens when he's asked a simple, fundamental question. When was the last time you actually stepped foot in the country you're talking about? If you're sick of billionaires treating real-world politics like their personal Xbox Live lobby, hit that subscribe button right now. I'm Neel. This is The Honest Perspective. Billionaires don't represent the working class. They manipulate them. Let's get into it.
Hard.
Let me push back on that.
Because
you have
nonsense.
Elon, you have, what is it, close to 250 million followers on X.
Yeah, because
You say things like,
popular guy.
quote, civil war in Britain is inevitable. Just a question
On the current
of when.
trend, yes.
I mean, when were you last in the UK?
A few years ago.
Exactly. So I live there. I'm there the whole time. That is
Yeah,
nonsense.
you live in a cloistered existence.
No, I don't actually. And the numbers also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
All the numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any city in the United States. Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down. You have painted, and because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants. There's rape on every corner. There's a sort of civilizational destruction.
I haven't said any of those things. If you have a large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning. They will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war. And obviously, this is the trend. And you absolutely do live in a cloistered existence. And if you'd like, we can go on a tour of Britain.
Sure.
And we
I'd
can go
be
on a
very
walking
happy
tour,
to come on a tour of Britain.
And you will see
You
for
come
yourself.
see my country that I live in all the time, and you haven't been to a few years ago.
I've been there literally 100 times.
But when was the last time?
Literally a few years ago.
You know why this exercises me? Because you have really shaped opinion about the UK. And so many Americans I come across and I have conversations with, and and I just had one the other day along the order of, oh, London's such a dangerous place. How can you know? There are sort of grooming gangs everywhere. There's violence everywhere. This is a picture that people get from things that you post or that are posted on X. And for example, you're posting for, what was it, 48 hours of Citizen Vigilante. That film, which,
yes,
paints a dystopian, I've watched it.
Yes.
It was not fun. I watched it yesterday. It's not a very good movie. But it also paints a dystopian picture of Europe. And it glorifies vigilante violence. It glorifies the murdering of a Muslim immigrant family.
Notice what just happened there. Musk spent months tweeting that the UK is spiraling into Mad Max-style lawlessness. The moment he's pressed on the actual numbers, the fact that London's violent crime rate is drastically lower than major American cities. His defense is, well, I watched a bad movie about it yesterday. He is getting his geopolitical intelligence from direct-to-streaming vigilante films and Twitter feeds and broadcasting it as absolute truth to 250 million people. Watch what happens next when the host asks him directly about the anti-Muslim bias driving this whole worldview.
I honestly think that it is irresponsible for you to put that up on X.
I think that it's a movie, and it's worth watching.
People say that you're a racist. What is the motivation for doing that? Are you fomenting?
My partner is she's half Indian, and and I have 4 children with her. One of them was named after a famous Indian physicist. So I would say I'm not racist, and also if you look at the people that are employed at my companies, we have senior executives of all races. There's I don't think there's any racism there.
Are you anti-Muslim?
I am. I'm against having if people are coming to a country with antithetical views. I am against that. I'm against that. I'm against. I'm against rape and murder. I'm against the imposition of rules and laws that are contrary to what we've come to accept in the West. And I think it's a crying shame that the sort of traditional media, like you, don't recognize this.
Why should you be able to shape European politics? You don't even live there.
I think of it as the sort of the West collectively.
But do you see why this makes people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has a right to influence our politics? It makes people, it's why, we started this conversation saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
Let's break down what we just witnessed, because that long, awkward pause when Elon was asked point blank if he is anti-Muslim told you everything you need to know about modern far-right rhetoric. First, let's talk about the classic shield. My partner is half Indian. My kid is named after a famous Indian physicist. Therefore, I can't be racist. This is the billionaire upgrade of I have a black friend. South Asia is a continent-sized region of incredible diversity. Having a partner of Indian descent has absolutely zero bearing on whether you harbor deep-seated Islamophobia or anti-Arab bias. It's a completely nonsensical defense designed to deflect accountability. Second, look at the logical leap he makes the second he recovers from that pause. The host asks, "Are you anti-Muslim?" Elon's response isn't a clear, "No, I respect people of all faiths." His response is, "I'm against rape and murder." Think about the framing there. To defend his stance on Muslim immigrants coming to the West, he immediately equates their presence with rape, murder, and imposition of laws antithetical to Western beliefs. That isn't a policy debate about immigration numbers or economic infrastructure. That is textbook dehumanization. It is taking a global population of nearly 2 billion people and reducing them to a criminal caricature that threatens civilization. And why does this matter so much? Why should we care what a guy sitting in Texas thinks about London or Birmingham or Manchester? Because algorithms dictate reality for millions of people. When the owner of the world's most influential text-based social media platform boosts far-right conspiracy theories, those theories don't stay on the screen. In August 2024, when anti-immigrant riots broke out across the UK, with mobs attacking hotels, housing asylum seekers, and burning down community centers, independent researchers and media monitors pointed directly to the echo chamber on X for amplifying unverified, false claims about the identity of a suspect. Musk didn't calm the waters. He tweeted that civil war is inevitable. He acts as an accelerant. He amplifies fringe figures while suppressing verified reporting, creating a feedback loop where terrified people think their neighborhood is about to burn down when, statistically, crime is lower than it was a decade ago. And when he gets caught? When he gets confronted with real-world statistics by a journalist who actually lives in the city, Musk is disparaging? He pulls out the ultimate plutocrat defense. I have 250 million followers. People hate you more than they hate me, and I don't care. That is the core of class power in the tech age. It's not just that billionaires control the supply chains or the factories anymore. They control the digital public square. They can manufacture a moral panic about working-class immigrants from the safety of their gated estates, profit off the engagement generated by outrage, and when the real-world violence spills into the streets, they just log off and say, "I don't care." We have to hold these figures accountable to real facts, real statistics, and real receipts. not vibes, not fear-mongering, and certainly not direct-to-video movies. If you believe in facts over engagement bait, if you believe in holding the wealthiest people on the planet to the same standard of truth as anyone else, subscribe to The Honest Perspective. I'm Neel. Demand real receipts, question corporate power, and don't let billionaires tell you who your neighbor is. That's The Honest Perspective, and that's where I'll leave you.